What's up, guys? It's your boys Wokey, back out with another scary, terrifying, and creepy video from a new YouTube channel called Most Amazing Top 10. And this one is a very doozy one because it's the devil. Sightings caught on camera, other videos and so forth when it comes to the devil that have been caught, and we're going to watch it together. So grab a chair, grab some popcorn, and your extra pair of pants. It's spooky time. If you guys are new to my channel, if you guys are returning and have not subscribed yet, make sure you guys subscribe right now by hitting that white bar icon down at the bottom right. Hit that bell icon next to it, so when I do post videos like this one, you guys will get that little ring notification that I've posted that video. Then you guys can watch, comment, like, and share. And again, thank you guys so very much for the love and support you guys show on my channel every single day. I am truly blessed to have all of you, and I can't wait to see what the future holds on this channel. Make sure you guys go over to Most Amazing Top 10. I know they don't need my help because they're literally at like almost 8 million subscribers, but go give them some love, watch their old stuff, watch the new stuff, and let's get into these videos of terrifying real devil sightings caught on camera and more. Let's take a look.
Did someone capture a sleep paralysis demon lurking in the corner of their bedroom?
Whoa!
Did these parents snap a photo of their son playing with his imaginary friend?
You're telling me this is nobody?
And hear what happened in Texas when a man in a devil mask showed up on a family's.
Revelations 20 or 201 through 50 or 20 to 1 to dash 50. I wonder what that is. All right, so the Revelations 21 through 15 describes a series of final events beginning with an angel binding Satan for 1,000 years. After this, those were martyred for their faith and are resurrected to reign with Christ during a millennium. Satan is then loses for a short time to deceive the nations of Gog and Magog before being thrown into the lake of fire. Finally, a great white horse or white throne is set up. The dead are judged from opening books, and those not found in the book of life are cast into the lake of fire, which is the second death. Yikes. So be good. Spread the word of God.
These are terrifying real devil sightings caught on camera. Did someone capture a shadow person on camera lurking over their bed? This video comes from Carrie E on YouTube, who noticed something terrifying on her home smart camera. Clearly, there's this dark black shape standing in the corner of the room. And, you know, at first I didn't really think much of this. I mean, it's not hard to put on some dark clothes and lurk in a corner, but then it moves. And that's when you notice just how unnatural this thing really is. It zips across the room so fast and in such a smooth, unnatural motion. This is clearly not a person. On top of that, watch how blurry it becomes. It doesn't look like a solid mass anymore. If you've ever had sleep paralysis and felt like something was standing over you or sitting on your chest and restricting your breathing, well, this video probably ain't gonna help you sleep any better. So sorry about that. Did you ever have an imaginary friend growing up?
No,
Do you have
thank the
pleasant
Lord.
memories of said imaginary friend? Well, this next story may make you look back on your childhood a little.
I had action figures.
This photo here was shared online years ago. It looks pretty innocuous, 2 kids playing, but the thing is, there was only one youngster present at the time. At least that's what the parents thought. They were watching their son playing in the living room.
So who's the woman with the blonde tips?
Saying he was talking with his imaginary friend Pauline. Dad snapped a picture, and when they looked back at it, they nearly screamed. Something else was clearly in the room.
So this thing is non-existent.
At least the camera picked something up. And the closer you look at this mysterious figure, the creepier it becomes. The eyes, the smile.
But then it looks like it's got like a flower in the head, or I don't know.
Not only does it look unnatural, it has this air of aggression about it.
Gross.
Pretty creepy photo. So this happened back in January in Texas, just outside of Dallas. 2 homeowners were left terrified after someone showed up at their house wearing a red satanic mask and holding a cardboard sign that said Revelation 21:15. If you know that Bible passage, it's all about the apocalypse, judgment day, that kind of thing. So the devil mask is bad enough, but it's really not the message you want.
It's creepy.
Showing up right on your front porch. The whole thing was caught on their doorbell camera.
What happened to spreading the word of God?
It happened around 8 p.m. on a Saturday. You could see the person dressed in all black standing there a few feet from the door, completely still. They ring the doorbell, wait a few seconds, then knock, and when no one answers, they just walk around the side of the house and stand there in the driveway, still holding the sign. The homeowners were not home at the time. They'd gone out to dinner, but they saw the footage later and they freaked out. "I'm scared," the homeowner told CBS. "I'm scared to leave the house. I'm scared to be at the house." She also said, "It's about the end times. It's about Judgment Day. I freaked out." Police looked into it and said the masked person hadn't been seen at any other homes in the area and technically didn't commit a crime. Still, they said they'd keep an eye on the neighborhood just in case. And a little message to viewers here. Probably not the best idea to knock on some random person's door wearing a devil mask in Texas.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't do it in Texas. Everybody's carrying a gun.
Yeah, I don't know.
Nowadays, I think
Anyway,
everybody's carrying a gun.
What kind of animal are we looking at here?
Oh, what is that? Some creepy looking guy in the woods.
According to the uploader, it wasn't an animal.
Or Mothman.
At least not one he'd ever seen. Reddit user Corrine James posted the image along with a description reading, "EMT friend saw this 2 nights ago, turning his ambulance around at the end of a rural road. It was swaying and its eyes were glowing without the headlights. This was in central Kentucky." Now, interesting thing about Kentucky, it's the home of the Pope Lick monster, aka Goatman. So
The what?
a terrifying part man, part goat hybrid with
He does not look pleasant.
glowing red eyes. I don't know. Am I drawing the wrong connections here? Am I crying? I don't know. But what do you guys think?
He said Kansas, right? Because I know that the Goat Man is in Kansas.
Let us know in the comments. All right, so this video comes from a TikToker named Anelli.
Oh, I remember this
Her actual
character.
name is Mariana. She took the footage at her church in Mexico. According to her, she always felt a strange, unsettling vibe whenever she was there. Nothing specific she could point to, just a general sense that something wasn't right. So one day she decided to record during Mass to see if she could capture anything unusual on camera, and she did. When she reviewed the footage, she noticed someone or something that she doesn't remember seeing in person at all.
I can't tell if the person's wearing glasses or if it's a mask.
It stands out immediately. In her description, she said it wasn't a human, and honestly, it's hard to disagree. The figure looks pale with dark, almost hollow eyes, almost like some lifeless mask. It's not just a case of bad camera quality either. Everyone else in the shot looks completely normal. So what's going on with this ghoulish looking figure? What would you do if you're working
Whoa! Is this coming out of the wall? What's happening here?
overnight security and saw this person show up on your surveillance camera? I say person, but I mean, look at her. It looks more like a zombie to me. So, a school in Mexico, this security guard was on an overnight shift when he looked at the surveillance camera by the
Look at the hands. They're like going all this.
entrance of the building and saw this unsettling looking person staring up at the camera trying
Ow!
to get inside. The
What's wrong with her eyes? Holy moly.
glowing eyes, the unusually long-looking arms. This is not what I would want to see trying to break into my workplace in the middle of the night. Again, I'd think a zombie invasion was breaking out. This image was posted to Reddit.
Oh, what is this? What is in the side of the woods?
By Dystopia321, who wrote, "This is a camera set up in the woods. Set up to take photos when it senses movement. Main purpose is to take photos of deer and other wildlife.
Yep.
There were no people that could be in the woods at the time, and it had to have been moving to set off the camera. What is this? Well, I can't say
Zoom it
exactly
in.
what it is, but I can say it. It doesn't look good. A rake, a skinwalker, Wendigo, golem. All possible
A demon.
identities mentioned in the comments, and I don't know, those seem like good guesses to me. What a horrifying looking creature. Could it be some extra tall, thin, pale person skulking through the forest alone in the middle of the night? Sure. But that's not really a comforting thought either, is it? What do you all think of this one? This one legitimately gave me chills, because it took me a few seconds staring at the image before
Let me guess. The woman is not even actually there.
I saw it, but when I did, yeah, just no thank you. Reddit user OrangeFood87 shared the picture saying that back in 2012, their roommate received
When your sedan becomes a compact car.
the image from her boyfriend. He was working at a body shop after hours and snapped a photo of this totaled car that had just been brought into the shop.
I'm guessing the woman was not there.
He was alone at the time and didn't see the eerie figure until he looked back at the photo.
How much you want to bet that woman belonged to this car, but she perished on the road?
Apparently, he closed up early that night, and I can't say I blame him. This picture was taken at the South Pittsburgh Hospital by Reddit user Just Okay at Life.
I see something right here, but couldn't that be her or the person behind the camera's image or shadow?
Who wrote, taken in the second story shadow hall where they report a 7-foot tall shadow figure. This was taken at the end of the night. There was one other guy with me, and he was in front of me to the left. He had the flashlight, so there's no way this shadow was either of ours. If you have a chance and you happen to be in Tennessee, I highly recommend visiting this place. Earlier in the night, I was walking down a dark hallway alone on the first floor, and from the left side of me, there was a doorway where I heard a hissing sound shoot out of one of the rooms, moving towards me. It was an incredible experience. Incredible experience, that's one way of putting it. Our final clip today comes from Saudi Arabia. YouTuber Adventures Jassim79 was doing what he does best, exploring a creepy abandoned place. This time he was walking through an old rundown house, and when he got to the roof, he caught something incredibly chilling on camera. As he passes by a clothesline, through a small opening between sheets, this ghoulish face with pure black
Looks like the black-eyed children myth.
eyes appears. Just as fast as it shows up though, it thankfully vanishes. Yeah, I'd be praying too if I saw that face poking out at me. Seeing as this is in Saudi Arabia, many viewers have commented that this could be more than just a ghost, but a jinn. Spirit-like beings from Muslim tradition that can be invisible, shapeshift, and sometimes exhibit your more classical kind of demonic behavior, tormenting people or in some cases, even possessing them. Genuine or not though, it's a pretty creepy video.
Mexico of when the devil appeared to a man there. It happened in 1940.
These are the devil encounters. I would not want to be around these.
42 and was later told by his son before spreading around the world. On a summer's day, the man went down to see the circus in town with his father and his brother. The shows weren't very interesting that year, but they met two girls and went off to hear some live music. Suddenly, they were stopped by a short man in a dinner jacket. He claimed that he was the greatest illusionist in the world, but that the circus turned him down because his act was so terrifying. The owner had accused him of being the devil. This got the man and his brother's attention. The stranger said they could see the amazing trick at his home. They followed the stranger back and sat on a sofa in his trailer. The stranger extended his arm and began running his left hand over his gloved right hand, all while chanting a strange tongue. He asked if they were ready. They said yes. He pulled off the glove and everyone screamed. To their horror, the hand was now a skeleton hand, still wiggling its fingers. The man's brother got up to take a closer look. The stranger grabbed the top of his head with his bony hand and said he was now really going to show them something. At this point, they all ran and screamed. The man stopped and looked back. The stranger was standing on top of the steps and laughing at them. On the ground was a wooden plank with long nails pointing up. The stranger jumped off the step and landed right onto a nail. Blood poured out of his boot, but he continued to laugh. The man just stared at him, transfixed, until his brother grabbed him and they both ran away. They knew it was the devil, they felt it was the devil, and they say it was a day they can never forget. Next up at number 9 now we have Robert Johnson. He's one of the most legendary blues musicians of all time, whose music went on to influence other musicians for generations. Aside from his music, folks may tell you another story about Robert Johnson, that he met the devil. They say that one day Robert was walking down the highway on a cool October night when he came to a crossroads. A tall man was sitting there on a log by the side of the road. He said that he knew Robert and asked him if he wanted to play the guitar like nobody had ever played it before, to be the king of the Delta blues. He said yes, he wanted that. The devil warned him though that although his music will enchant the crowds, his soul will now belong to him.
Hell
This
no.
is not just any crossroads, the devil said. I put this X here for a reason, and I've been waiting on you. Then the devil possessed him. Robert's eyes rolled upwards in their sockets. The moon pierced his eyes. Then he...
What the hell? Don't be doing no deals with no devil. No. Bad juju.
looked at the man straight in the eyes and said, "Step back, devil man. I'm going to Rosedale. I am the blues." Now, whether or not you believe that story, Robert Johnson was an incredible blues musician. I was actually listening to him as I wrote this script, and he also died under mysterious circumstances involving some sort of poison when he was 27 years old, which historians are still trying to fully understand.
He was not very old.
St. Dunstan. He was a 10th century hermit who lived in Glastonbury in England. One day, a mysterious stranger approached him and asked that St. Dunstan use his skill in smithing to make a chalice for him, a sort of holy cup, if you like. Dunstan agreed and set to work. As he worked away, though, he saw the stranger change form from man to woman, from woman into a child, flowing from one to the next. Dunstan realized that this was the devil, but he tried to act as if he hadn't noticed. Then, when the chance presented itself, he grabbed a pair of red-hot tongs from the fire and pierced them into the stranger's nostrils, causing the devil to cry out in pain and flee. A while later, the devil returned, this time as a vagrant street performer playing the harp. Dunstan grabbed him by the leg this time and began shoeing him. Then he nailed a horseshoe to his cloven foot. The devil screamed in agony and agreed to be released on the condition that he never approach a house with a horseshoe hanging over the doorway ever again. This gave birth to the legend that horseshoes are lucky and even keep the devil at bay. Moving on to number 7 now, we have the
I got something better than a horseshoe above my doors. I got the cross.
Devil's violinist. That's the name given to Niccolo Paganini. Some even say he was the greatest violin player who ever lived. He was a child prodigy in Genoa, Italy, who struggled to find a teacher that he couldn't surpass immediately. By the age of 15, he was touring solo. Within a year, he had a breakdown and succumbed to alcoholism. He didn't reappear in the public eye until the age of 22, but this time, he was somehow better than ever. They say he was able to play 3 octaves across 4 strings and a handspan. Now, you don't actually have to know what that means, but it's thought to be nearly impossible, even by today's standards. He was a striking sight in his performances. Very tall and very thin, with hollow cheeks, very long fingers, pale skin, and flaming eyes with thin lips that held a sardonic smile. To top it all off, he wore all black for his performances. Soon, rumors began to circulate that his violin was the devil's instrument, that Paganini had actually made a deal with the devil. Some say they saw the devil help Paganini play. Others say that they once saw lightning bolts hit the end of his bow during a performance. When he died, he turned down his last rites from a priest. The official account is that he did this because he thought he wasn't going to die, but others say it was because he feared the blessing of a priest. Coming in at number 6 now, we have The Richest. This is the story of Jonathan Moulton. He was an American general who helped the US win the Revolutionary War. He's also known for trying to trick the devil, apparently. Despite being very rich, Moulton wanted more. One night, sitting in front of his fireplace, Moulton said out loud that he'd sell his own soul to the devil to be the richest man in the province. Not one to miss out on the offer of a soul, the devil
I'd rather be rich in faith, just saying.
appeared right there and said that he would make the deal and fill Moulton's boots with gold coins every single month. For a while, Moulton enjoyed finding the gold in his boots every month, but soon he wanted more, and he hatched a cunning plan. He cut the bottom of his boots off and put them on top of the chimney. The devil filled up the boots, but eventually noticed the shoes never filled. Coins were just tumbling down the chimney where Moulton was practically swimming in them. As revenge, the devil took back all the gold he'd ever given Moulton. He burned down the house and kept his soul in hell for eternity. Legend says years after his death, Moulton's grave was opened, and instead of a skeleton, they found a coffin filled with gold. Next up at number 5 now, we have Saint Pio. Talked about Duncan earlier, but
that's why you don't make any deals with no devil, no demon, no evil stuff. Don't do it.
He wasn't the only saint on this list who claims to have had a run-in with a devil. Pio was also known for his frequent and often violent battles with the devil. On one occasion, a local friar found him lying bloodied and bruised in his room. When Pio came around, he said that he had been attacked by either Satan or one of his demons, which had left him with 3 broken ribs. On one night in 1906, Pio heard footsteps coming from the next room, which he thought was his friend, Friar Anastasio. He went to the window and tried to call out to invite him in for a chat.
It was nobody besides the devil.
He found that his voice had gone though, out of nowhere. He just couldn't speak. Then he noticed a large black hound sitting menacingly on a nearby window ledge. In his account of what happened next, Pio said, "I saw the big dog enter through the window.
A hellhound.
And there was smoke coming from its mouth. I fell on the bed and I heard a voice from the dog that said, 'Him it is him.' While I was still on the bed, the animal jumped up to the ledge of the window, then to the roof and disappeared." His colleagues believed that the devil was targeting him because of all the exorcisms that Pio had performed over the years. They said that on many occasions, before leaving the body of a possessed man, they would actually hear the devil shout, "Padre Pio, you give us more trouble than Saint Michael. Do not steal the bodies from us and we will not bother you." Next up at number 4 now, we have Johann Georg Faust. A 1507 book titled Historia and Tale of...
I'm getting goosebumps. I don't know about you guys. Look at all these goosebumps. Yeah. Look at all this.
Dr. Johannes Faustus tells the story of Johannes Faustus, who allegedly met the devil. According to the book, he was a German scholar who, quote, loved...
Look, I'm getting worse. They're everywhere.
What ought not to be loved. It says that he craved nothing more than forbidden knowledge. One day, Johannes traveled to a crossroads in a forest and summoned the devil. He stood inside a protective circle and performed an ancient and unholy ritual. Soon, lightning came crashing down and the entire forest was destroyed. Demons emerged in 3 forms. First, a dragon, then as a man made of fire, and then as an old monk. After hours of conversation, Faust agreed to trade his soul so that his every question would be answered for 24 years. He told himself that things would be fine because, in his words, the devil might not be so black as they used to paint him, nor hell so hot as the people say. Well, the
rumor is he's not actually scary looking, but he still looks magnificent like his angel self when he was cast out of hell and cast out of heaven and sent to hell, because the devil was an angel at one time. And he doesn't look like the horns and stuff like that. But again, still, we don't want to be in the lake of fire or with the devil. We want to be with God and Jesus and heaven.
He ends by saying that he was wrong and people were right. It claims that when Johannes died, his soul went straight to hell, where he spent an eternity of torture, wishing for death, but finding that even death had forsaken him. Moving on to number 3 now, we have the Signed Pact. Father Urbain Grandier was a French Catholic priest who, in 1632, was accused by a local group of nuns that he had bewitched them and sent demons to commit evil and impudent acts with them. Investigations into Urbain reached a new level with the discovery of what people claimed was a physical contract written on paper between Urbain and the devil. The contract was said to be even signed by Urbain,
I don't see the signature of the devil,
and a number of different demons. It read, "We, the influential Lucifer, the young Satan, Beelzebub, Leviathan, Elimi, and Astaroth, together with the others, have today accepted the covenant pact of Urbain Grandier, who is ours."
Do they use normal paper from Office Max, or is it papyrus?
"And him do we promise the love of women, the flower of virgins, the respect of monarchs, honors, lusts, and powers." That's where it ended. Well, whatever you guys think about all of that, the local court found him guilty and sent him to burn at the stake. Moving on now to number 2, we have Saint Gemma Galgan. In her diaries, she wrote that she believed the devil himself was waging a personal war against her. In one famous passage, she wrote, "The demon came before me as a giant of great height, and kept saying to me, 'For thee there is no more hope of salvation. Thou art in my hands.' I replied that God is merciful, and therefore I fear nothing. Then, giving me a hard blow on the head in a rage, he said, 'Cursed be you,' and then he disappeared. I then went into my room to rest, and there I found him. He began again to strike me with a knotted rope, and wanted me to listen to him while he suggested wickedness. I said no, and he struck me even harder, knocking my head violently against the ground. At a certain point, it came to my mind to invoke Jesus, Father, eternal Father, through the most precious blood of Jesus, free me. I then don't quite know what happened next. That contemptible beast dragged me from my bed and threw me, hitting my head against the floor with such force that it pains me still. I became senseless and remained lying there until I came to myself a long time afterwards. Jesus be thanked." That was just one entry, and it was very intense. From the look of her diary, it wasn't her first encounter, and it certainly wasn't her last. And finally, number 1 now, we have Pope Sylvester II. If you had to pick one person who isn't in league with the devil, you may pick the Pope. But back in the 10th century, people thought the first French Pope was a master of the dark arts and had sold his soul to the devil. He was undoubtedly a genius. He was known for his work in mechanics, mathematics, astronomy, clocks, organs, introducing Arabic numerals to Western Europe, as well as natural science, music, philosophy, and theology. That was a lot for one person, especially back then. After he died, rumors began to circulate that Sylvester had made a deal with the devil, that the devil had given to him his intelligence and wisdom in return for his soul. This was a terrifying prospect for Catholics at the time. The thought that their own leader, God's representative on earth, had been meeting and dealing with the devil in secret. In recent years, experts agree that he likely got his skills and knowledge from regular meetings with scholars from all over the known world, and not from some dark dealings. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't want myself to be like this woman, where she's dragged to hell. I mean, this is a movie called Drag Me to Hell, and she was cursed, but this is bad juju. We don't sell no souls to nobody. Don't be making no deals with no devils, no demons, nobody, because it's all bad, and you're gonna be like, I need somebody to help me. Don't do it. It's like the Ouija board. Just don't touch it. Leave it alone. So with that being said, with all the information and all the sightings and the stories and so forth, what is your thoughts? Do you think the devil comes up once in a while to make some deals with people to achieve some souls? Well, you ain't getting mine, to tell you that. What about you? Comment your thoughts down below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel again, and then go over to most amazing top 10. We'll see you guys in the next video. Please take care, be safe. As always, keep nerding on, and we will see you guys in the next video.